call the meeting to order. The board met in closed session and no action was taken. We do have an item that is item number, excuse me. Sorry, there's a bug crawling on my board packet. Sorry. Item number, resolution number EXT 18/19-9. Do we have a motion? Nancy, unmute.
I'll motion.
So,
I'll second.
so the motion then I'm going to assume is that you're moving to adopt the recommendation by staff, the staff recommendation, correct? Okay, great. Do we need a roll call vote on this or can we do by general consent? General consent?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. So the motion is passed. All right. Let's see. Regarding public comments for closed session, there were none. We've called to order flag salute. So if we could go ahead and you can see Scott has the flag back there in the background, and we'll go ahead and just maybe if everyone could just stand up and mute or not mute, whatever they like to do. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Thank you. Okay, can we get an adoption of the agenda?
Make a motion that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Lee?
Thank you.
Oh, no, there she is.
Yeah, Mrs. Anderson made the motion and Mr. Bruno seconded. Do we have general consent? Great, the agenda has been adopted. Okay, organizational reports. If we could have Vanessa Mason, president of CUDA.
Hi, thank you. My report tonight is pretty quick. We're excited that teachers are finally in the Tier 1B category and eligible for vaccines in Sacramento County. Now, if we can just get an appointment, we would all be happy as clams. We're also, Mr. Deason's been updating CUTA several times this year about how the CARES money has been spent. And we're very thrilled that it is in our hands. The digital technology has been used by teachers and that Center District is prepared to resume in-person teaching, hopefully in the near future, using all of the PPE that's been purchased and all of the technology that's in the teacher's hands. And lastly, that Lisa has worked Mrs. Coronado has worked so diligently to look at our school budget, what the state is providing to our school district, and that there is the ability to offer a cost of living adjustment to our teachers' salaries this year and CSEA salaries as well. So all three of those things make us very happy. And that's my report. Are there any questions?
No, thank you so much. Enjoy your offline listening in. Okay, can we have Marie Higgins, president of California School Employees Association, CSEA.
Yes, I would like to thank the district for keeping employees informed about the potential vaccination opportunities in our area. With the continued shortage of available vaccine appointments, there is still a lot of apprehension regarding the thought of transitioning to a hybrid model of instruction. Some concerns I am hearing are, does Sacramento County need to be back in red tier for at least a couple weeks before we can consider reopening? Do employees receive release time to procure vaccinations since the vaccination sites may only be open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.? Why would we open for in-person instruction when other districts have done so and have had to close down due to COVID cases increasing? I appreciate the board evaluating the pros and cons of the transition to the hybrid model and the attention given to parents and families as well as employees.
Maria, I didn't catch the first part of that about the district and the timing.
Just would like to thank the district for keeping employees informed about potential vaccination opportunities in our
Okay.
area. We've been informed quite a bit, but there with the shortage, there's still apprehension about whether or not to, reopen because
Okay.
there's such a shortage in vaccinations.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Any questions for her? Okay, moving along. Committee updates. So could we have Craig Deason, who's going to provide a facilities update? Always fun.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. I'm going to start with the full day kindergarten program. If you ever have a chance to drive by there, you can see it from the street. They're making a lot of progress. They have the building pad complete. All the dirt's been brought in. It's all been compacted and it's level. And then they did pour the foundation piers that are going to hold up the foundation within the building pad. So we do have some movement with getting ready for the buildings to come in. In the next 2 weeks, they're going to be working on the retaining walls that are around the outside of the raised dirt that they have there. And they're also going to be working on the foundation footings. So they'll be putting in the boards and the rebar, getting ready to pour the concrete for the foundations and the retaining walls. So in the next couple of weeks, we should see all of that happening. And then the goal to set the buildings, to set the 3 classrooms is April 1st. So I hope I don't have to fool you on that one on April Fool's Day. Moving on to the new school site. We did send out the request for proposals and qualifications for the leaseback contractor who will be overseeing the building of the school site. And we actually had our contractor briefing today. So we told them all about the program, and then their job is going to be to put a package together telling us what their pre-construction costs are going to be, as well as a rough estimate of what the construction of the school will cost. And then that RFQ closes on March 5th, and we will bring the contractor that wins that bid to the March 17th board meeting. We also have the design development phase of the drawings. It's where they get a little bit more specific and refined from the schematic drawings. Those are set to be complete in 2 weeks on March 5th. And at that time, we'll do another cost estimate. So we do an estimate at the schematic drawings, but those are the ones that we showed you at the last board meeting where it just shows you where the buildings go, where the play fields are. So it's a pretty rough estimate. And that one came in a little higher than we were hoping for. So we went back from those drawings and we tried to value engineer it a little bit to shave as much money as we could off of that initial estimate. But when we're able to do the design development drawing estimate, since we know what the interiors of the buildings are going to look like and the finishes, what type of carpet we're going to use, we have a better chance to refine that budget, and we'll be able to share that information with you at that point, because it's not the best idea to share a very, very rough estimate, because sometimes it scares you like it scared me. But we're trying to whittle it down and make sure we have all the programs that we need within that school site. And we should be able to share that with you at the next board meeting.
Do we own the property?
On the property, yeah. We did get CDE approval. So the California Department of Education approved that we can purchase it as a school site. So now we're working on negotiating with the developer to get a few perks for us, possibly some grading of the school site and some other things as we negotiate the price for that site. So it's taken a little bit longer than expected because of the CDE approval process, but we're getting close.
Okay, I don't know that you want to say this in a meeting, a public meeting, but if I called you and asked you where it was at, could you tell me so I could go look?
Where the school site is?
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'll shoot you a map, and we're actually talking about trying to put together a little field trip out there. Get one of our bus drivers to drive some folks out there, social distanced, of course, and look at where that school site is and where the park's going to be as well. So,
okay, nice.
and then the last section I have is our CTE program, our residential and commercial construction and information technology buildings that we're working on. And we're in the process of the design development phase. We're about halfway through it. So not too much is happening except the architects are sharpening their pencils and drawing like crazy. And that should be complete around April 16th. So hopefully I'll have more information on that one at the next board meeting as well. And that's the conclusion of my report, unless you have any questions.
Good job.
All right, thank you.
I think you're muted, Kelly. I'm sorry.
There we go. For
There
some
we go.
reason, my mouse would not, it wouldn't work. So I had to find the keyboard on or the mouse on the laptop. Okay, sorry about that. Item number 11 on the agenda, Mike Jordan is going to present to us on the multi-tiered system of supports, MTSS.
All right, good evening. Can you
Good
see
evening.
the screen that says multi-tiered system of support? Is it sharing out with you? Outstanding. All right, my role tonight, I'm going to give you a brief overview of our MTSS or multi-tiered system of support for the Center Joint Unified School District. You'll have this packet in your board packet there, and that's what we're going to be talking about this evening. So MTSS, just so you know, it is the umbrella that all of our services for students fall under. And I'm going to give you just the highlights of our total plan. It took us about 3 years or so with a lot of help from administrators, teachers, classified staff to put together. Oh, it does not want to. It's not letting me go to the next screen here. Give me a second.
The teachers are loving this.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so what is MTSS? So this is just an overview, and this is right out of our document. This is our definition. And I know it's a long definition. I'm just going to read it, and then I'm going to explain it out in the next couple of slides and with some visuals. So a multi-tiered system of supports, MTSS, functions as a system that supports all diverse learners, including general education, special education, English learners, GATE, advanced placement students, through a framework of academic, social, emotional, and behavioral best practices. MTSS provides prevention, intervention, enrichment, and ongoing support in the most inclusive settings as guided by school-wide data systems and progress monitoring. This framework organizes scientifically evidence-based resources to support students through a 3-tiered format. So the highlights of this, the summary of this, encompasses all academics, all social emotional learning, and all behavioral best practices. However, they're not provided in independent silos. These all work together. These all function together simultaneously. So this is the best depiction of this visual that I could find of this. You can see MTSS is the umbrella that all of these student services fall under. And you can see underneath the rings, that's showing it's the whole child, and that these, again, they're not taught independently. our academics, our behavioral initiatives, our social, emotional, and learning initiatives, all of those are constantly working together to educate the whole child. And it takes not just the teachers in the classroom, but administrators, our classified, our parents, our community, everyone working together for this to work. So when it talks about the 3 tiers, what that means is the bottom tier, the red tier that you see, tier 1, that's provided to all students. That's everything we do provided to everyone. Then a smaller group, if they are not successful in the tier 1, they need a little bit extra help or a little bit extra intervention. That's that targeted small group yellow tier, tier 2. So we'll move them from the tier 1 up to tier 2. If within the tier 1 and tier 2, if students are still in need of a little extra support, and usually this is about 5 to 8% of our students, we go up into that tier 3 level, or the intensive intervention level. Now, kids can go back and forth between these levels, depending on what's going on, depending on how they are performing, depending on how things are working out for them. So it's not like you're stuck in one tier. You're constantly moving in and out of those tiers. So the blueprint, and that's that big packet that you should have within your packet. In our blueprint, we have outlined our 3 tiers, what we do in the academic realm, the social emotional realm, as well as the behavioral realm. The key components that you're going to see how this is all, what this is all based upon. One is high quality research-based instruction. And that encompasses UDL strategies, which Mrs. Lawson did a great job last board meeting of explaining UDL, Universal Design for Learning strategies. 2, it's based on a concept of systematic and sustainable change. So we're constantly using data to make data-informed decisions in all realms. And then again, an integrated data system. So we're using universal screeners to see where kids are, where we need to go. There's diagnostic tests, there's progress monitoring, everything going simultaneously along the way. And then finally, we have the positive behavior supports going on to encompass everything that's going on the school sites. So one thing you're going to notice in our plan is you're going to see this little blue and gray and white. At least that's what it is on my screen. I hope you're seeing the same thing. It says all means all. And that's just a reminder that it's all students, regardless of grade level, regardless of academic level. This plan is for everyone. And finally, just as you're going through, you're going to see how these tiers are broken down. So in this first page, I'm just going to take us through the first page real quick. This is our tier 1. This is all students again. And in this case, you're going to see an elementary breakdown, a middle school, and a high school breakdown. So over on the far left column, you're going to see tier 1 academic, behavioral, and social emotional supports. Those are the supports again for everyone, all students. Then when you move over into the little bit lighter blue column, and then the second white long column, you're going to see our tier 2 supports. So we've gone through these tier 1 supports. We have some students that still need a little bit of extra intervention, a little bit of extra assistance. They're going to pull into these programs and services that fall under that tier 2. And then finally, you're going to see the lighter blue, lightest blue. You're going to see the tier 3 supports. Again, that's about 5 to 8% of our students. And that's the tier 1 and tier 2. They still need a little extra support, some more assistance. Then they would fall and they'd go into those tier 3 supports. Again, in all 3 realms: behavioral, academic, social, emotional learning. So as you're reading through this document, please keep in mind that this was compiled in June of 2019. It was introduced to our staff at the beginning of last school year. Then, of course, COVID hit. This is a living, breathing document that will be updated and upgraded as we go along. So we have a thing called the hexagon tool where we look at new services, new programs that we plan to bring in at the tier 1, 2, and 3 levels. And that's how things are added to this plan. All right. Again, this is just meant to be a brief overview. Are there any questions?
I couldn't see the
Anderson?
whole slide.
Yeah, me either. I couldn't see the whole slide either.
I think
The
it was
whole
just, I think it was a snapshot of the slide. What that slide there is really just that one right there, Mr. Jordan. That one's
Correct.
actually the first page in the blueprint. I don't think it was meant to
Correct.
have the whole slide in the board packet. There, the whole document is in there.
Correct. Yeah, sorry, I put the full page up there. It was too much information for one slide to show on a Zoom, and it just didn't, you couldn't read it at all. So I wanted to give you an idea. This is what each page looks like. This is the format of each page.
The other piece, Mike, and I just want to restate, or Mr. Jordan, is for the board is this was our starting point. This is a living, breathing
Correct.
document that we will continue to add, change. This was we needed to get something to frame the systems that we had. What we found was we had many different supports all over. We didn't have it coordinated to an outline. So this document will provide us a road, start plugging things in through the hexagon tool, through different programs or different trainings, different things. This will be our vehicle for that. So this is not like done. This is one of those documents that will be updated throughout.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank you.
moving along to item number 12 on the agenda. This is comments from the audience regarding items that are not on the agenda. Just keeping in mind that we do have on the agenda the reopening. So when that comes up on the agenda, then there will be time for a public comment on that as well. And I'm just going to read the disclaimer here. Anyone may address the board regarding any item that is within the board's subject matter jurisdiction. However, the board may not discuss or take any action on any item which is not on this agenda except as authorized by Government Code Section 54954.2. A speaker shall be limited to 3 minutes. We're not that. Okay. All public comments on items listed on the agenda will be heard at the time the board is discussing that item. Be sure to put your items in early so that if we have already voted and closed it, you don't get left out without being able to make comments. So put those in right away.
Ms.
Yes.
Kelly,
Uh-huh.
in a correspondence we received this today or within the last couple of days, somebody said that we only pick and choose the comments that are read, and that is absolutely not true. We read all of the comments that we receive, and I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I absolutely can attest to that. There's no way we would pick and choose what comments we want to hear. We don't even know what the comments are before they're read to us. So the person reading them receives them and reads them, period. That's all there is to it. So I just want to, and you know, they go back and forth. Sometimes you'll get, you know, everybody's in favor of one thing and the next month everybody's in favor of the opposite. So just, we take it with, you know, under advisement and listen to the comments that come in over a period of time. So please, anyone, Carol?
Yes, I have 2 of them currently. I have more for a specific item. The 2 for public comments are from Misty Walker, says, what has the over $9 million in COVID money received for our district been spent on? Can the public get a report on where this has been spent? And the second one is also from Misty Walker. She said, moving forward, can you offer better, more detail, and more communication with parents about returning to in-person learning? That is all I have at this time.
Great, thank you. And when the item comes up on the agenda, the board will be able to comment on that item as well. So just so you know. Okay, board and superintendent's reports are next. Do we have any? Yes.
I do have a comment to Misty. If you looked at the live stream, I believe it was, so it was probably January that Lisa Coronado explained in detail what we spent the money on. So you could look at that live stream to get a better idea of where we spent the funds. I think it was January, wasn't it, Mr. Lair?
Yes. And just for clarity, the current allocation, I think was, Ms. Coronado probably be able to comment better. I think it was about 1.1 under 2 million. And then that was the first round of ESSER 1. ESSER 2, we're slated to get over 4 million, but we have not received that. So I just want to make sure that that's clear too. We've not received 9 million. So if someone tried to add up what Lisa shared, it would never reach 9 million because we did not get that as far as there. So I don't know, Lisa, if you want to jump in real quick or not.
And actually, we did receive more than that. We received 5 million, Mr. Lair. And I did report on that, as you said, Mrs. Pope, but I will report on it again next month with second interim.
So, Lisa, does the 5 million include what we haven't gotten from ESSER 2, or was that only ESSER 1?
That's ESSER 1. That's 5 pots of money. So that's money from the state and from the federal government.
So once we do get ESSER 2, then it will be 9 million, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
All right, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.